Oh, I could go for some fun.
Cool.
Remember that from SpongeBob?
Yeah.
Krusty Krab is unfair.
Hi. Well, I'm live. We're live.
We're alive.
Hi, my name is Hannah. Welcome back to my channel, Pretty Hippie Me. And today we have a special off-camera guest who is my boyfriend, Al. And
Really?
yeah,
Cool.
Tell me if you can hear him in the chat.
Can you hear him?
He's gonna help me because today's video we're gonna talk about what happened to Dixie this past week and a half, 2 weeks or something, and it's been quite a saga. And he was very much involved. So here, let me move this baby. Does that help? Do you need space?
I feel good.
Okay, thanks. So he's definitely, and there's just like a lot of details to remember. Also, at the same time, I'm going to be doing makeup, so I'm probably going to go slow and I might forget some stuff, so he can help fill in the gaps a little bit. Thank you for watching. And there, proof, he's real. He's here. So I guess to start off really quick, I'm going to be using my new Wilderness palette by Beauty Bay. So freaking good. It was like $15 plus shipping and stuff, but like the quality of these, I cannot describe how impressed I am by these eyeshadows. This is quickly becoming my new go-to palette. I'm so happy about it. And what I already have on my face, I have a new foundation, the Bare Minerals Original Foundation that I did like so much testing and returning and trying and figuring out foundations for like a week and a half. And this is the one that I settled on. And I feel like it's a pretty dang good match. So this is what I'm going with. And I like the color, but also the formula, because Bare Minerals had another foundation that's like their long wear performance one or whatever, and it was really cakey and bad. I did not like how that looked. But so that's what I have for foundation. I have a Milani eye primer for my eyeshadow base, which is kind of new for me. I have, and I like it better than the CoverGirl lid lockup that I've been using. That one was like too much, too sticky, where I feel like this one is just the right amount of tacky. And then I have my brows right now are the NYX Lift and Snatch. And I have a little bit of CoverGirl, no, ELF. What just fell on me? Something just fell.
I wouldn't know a thing about that.
Maybe.
There was a little piece of sticky that I just tossed.
Cool.
Sorry.
So I have ELF Hydrating Camo Concealer going on as well. And that's it. And I'm going to start doing makeup, but not really talking much about it because we have to talk about what the heck that just happened with Dixie. So where to begin? Almost 12 years ago, a cat named Dixie was born.
Oh.
In a faraway land called Minnesota. And nowadays she lives with us. And so I guess what happened, okay, so it was Friday of last week was when we really started noticing her acting funny, but it was before, was it before then that it really started?
Friday morning was the first moment that I noticed anything wrong.
Okay.
And that was when I woke up and she was just plopped on the floor by the bathroom. She didn't look disturbed, but she
didn't look good.
More exhausted and sitting in a more, I don't know, just flat way.
She was very still and very huddled. And you know that we have our new cat, Jupiter, and he was running and jumping and hither and thither. And she was, thither. Yeah. And she was like not really reacting and not really Even she wasn't even annoyed necessarily. Oh, if you hear like crashing and banging, that's Jupiter. He's so big now.
Yeah, he is.
But so that was also a sign that she was either particularly tired or there was like something weird going on because she wasn't really reacting to Jupiter.
Yeah.
So that was Friday, 2 Fridays ago now. Today is Tuesday. Is today Tuesday? Yeah. I want to do a smoky eye, but for some reason I'm literally forgetting the order of how smoky eyes go. I'm going to start with this green called Forest. So, Friday I went to work. Did you have the day off, baby?
I was at work.
No, yeah. So we both went to work and we thought maybe she was just tired. It's
That'll be my screen present.
That's my boyfriend.
Oh.
Yay. Telling stories and singing songs. And the other thing is Jupiter and Dixie have been having a hard time figuring out what they're going to share or not. Like, they shouldn't share food because he has special kitten food and she has special old cat food. And but especially, like, Jupiter likes to go up to her while she's eating, and I can't tell. I think it used to be an interest in the food, but now I think it's an interest in her. And when she's eating, she's sitting still for a while to eat. So he has a good amount of time to pay attention to her, and she kind of can't go anywhere. So she's forced to interact with him. And he'll be right up close around her bowl, kind of like sometimes he's trying to eat from it, but I don't even know if he is anymore.
I think he just likes to watch.
Yeah. So he was doing that on Friday morning. So she was definitely trying to eat on Friday morning, but 2 Fridays ago, but I think that was still in the time period when he was interested in the food as well as being interested in her. So he was kind of preventing her from eating because he kept eating her food.
You're saying the Friday that we took her?
Yeah, that morning.
I didn't see her eat. You saw her eat that morning?
I saw her trying.
Oh.
Yeah. This is an important detail.
Because I thought that we said we knew that the last time she ate was Thursday.
No,
when
for
we
me.
were telling the vet.
I said Friday morning. But that was a thing too, is that she hadn't been eating much over the previous days, right? Mm-hmm. Besides just, on Friday she started feeling really visibly tired and sad looking. Go ahead.
We just thought she was depressed on Friday morning, but then I got home from work like 20 minutes before you, and she just sat motionless by the door and didn't want to move much.
Yeah.
So that was when I was starting to freak out, and then you got home and we both knew we had to take her in to the hospital.
She was just a pile of bricks. It was real weird. So we as soon as I walked in the door, Elle's sitting on the floor right by the door, and he looks up at me and says, "Baby, there's something wrong with Dixie." Or baby, there's a problem, something like that. Mm-hmm, I don't know. Mm-hmm. So he was describing her really, 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 really not being reactive. She he was like, you were snapping your fingers right in front of her face, and she just like was zoned out, not paying any attention, not reacting. So that was definitely a sign that something weird was going on. So we went to the only emergency room for animals, which is an hour away from us, over the border into Rhode Island. And when we dropped her off, we were just like, we don't really know what's going on, other than she's very tired and just seems weird and just isn't really responding to us. And we left her. That was Friday night. Friday nights are very busy there or something, but
we didn't know anything when we left at like 9 or when we got home at like 9:30 or so.
Yeah, we stayed there for a
so
few hours to see if it was like something simple or not, but it was not. So we had to leave her there overnight. We kind of expected that from the last times that we've gone there. But yeah, we didn't really know anything when we left.
Then we got the call at midnight-ish that she wasn't doing great, and I think we started hearing about pancreatitis or the gallbladder or the liver being a problem or a source of the problem.
Yeah, so with it being a 24/7 facility, there were several different doctors that worked on Dixie's case while she was there for a whole week. So this doctor, I think, this was the only night that she worked on Dixie's case, was the night that she was admitted. And she was saying, like, yes, her liver levels are off because she hasn't been eating. She was very dehydrated. She had masses in her gallbladder. So that was scary because masses could be cancer, or it could just be, because it's a gallbladder, could be gallbladder stones. And the pancreas was inflamed, and that was pancreatitis potentially. The liver could have been liver failure. Like, there was just a lot of like really, really heavy stuff when we got that call at like 11:30 at night. So that was not encouraging. And so then, oh boy, they had her overnight, obviously. And then on Saturday morning, they gave us 2 calls a day. One in like the late morning, early afternoon, and then one in the evening-ish, but usually it was kind of early evening. Each call was like 6 hours apart, really. And just to update us. And I think that first call of the day on Saturday was when they kind of ruled out pancreatitis. It's not pancreatitis. The liver values were kind of stabilized. Well, she wasn't eating for them, which was normal.
Good for her liver values, though.
Yeah, it's not good for her liver values. And but I think that they were just saying, like, they were attributing it to her not eating as opposed to it being like liver failure. Mm-hmm. So at least they kind of like came upon that as a cause. So that's good as opposed to liver failure. They were saying it wasn't pancreatitis, whether the pancreas was inflamed as a like kind of tangential result of the liver being inflamed, I think.
Perhaps so.
See, the thing, like, the farther back we're going, it's like it gets fuzzier and fuzzier because so much has happened since then. Yeah. And
they wanted to put her on a feeding tube because the longer she didn't eat, the worse for her liver.
Right.
So we did that, and there's the feeding tube that goes up through the nasal area, and that's less intrusive. And then the feeding tube that goes into the esophagus, and that's more intrusive. So, of course, we started with the former, the
less intrusive.
Yeah, the nasal tube. And she was on that like a day and a half or so.
Yeah. Thanks, baby.
Updated a little bit.
So that's the picture that's in the thumbnail of this video, is Dixie absolutely miserable on a feeding tube. And the thing is, she has she's a small nose, flat face breed of cat. So she has kind of limited space in there, and it became an issue later on, but they didn't really suspect it at that time. So yeah, just we got to a place where like her gallbladder, the masses there were stones, and the stones passed, and so yeah, she was uncomfortable, but like she was fine. And then the liver values were evening out, but that was the biggest concern, was getting her to eat. And we knew like she's never eaten when she's been at the hospital before. She's not going to because she's not comfortable. So we're like, yeah, I mean, if the only thing that she needs to do is eat, send her home with us because she'll eat for us at home. And so the pancreas was fine. The gallbladder was fine. She was rehydrated again. And pretty much it seemed like everything was fine except for her needing to eat. But then when we got her back, she was full of like congestion and mucus, and she was breathing out of one nostril, and so she was breathing through her mouth. And the vet tech who handed her to us was like, yeah, it seems like she has a little bit of like sinus infection or like sinus flare up from the feeding tube, but it's not, it's not a big deal. It's going to pass. Is that a good summary of so far, baby?
Well, she asked if it was normal, and we hadn't heard it yet, so we kind of assumed it was her asthmatic breathing, which isn't immediately concerning. It just seems uncomfortable for her, but that's not an emergency. So we took her. She was like breathing through her mouth and she was the same as she was when we first brought her there, except for now she had mucus leaking out of her everywhere. And her breathing with her mouth open and like this rattling breath. It was creepy, but we took her home because we thought that perhaps she needed to eat and she wouldn't do it over there. And if nothing else, get her to eat and bring her back the next day.
Yeah, we thought maybe she was like panicked and that was making her breathe a little heavier and stuff. So the whole ride home, she was definitely very uncomfortable. We got her home and she was like a pile of rocks. She like wouldn't move. She was very,
we gave her medicine and that freaked her out, but that was the only thing she had the energy to react to. And then I brought her over near my desk and sat her down in her soft spot. And then I tried to wipe her face clean and she jumped on the floor and then laid there for like 5 hours.
Yeah.
Didn't eat. Her food was right in front of her the whole time. Didn't drink any water. Didn't even react to anything. So literally the same as the first night, just all drooly and breathing weird.
Yeah. And if you've ever seen Dixie, even just in passing in one of my videos, you know that she is, she's not an unreactive cat.
Rambunctious.
Yeah. If anything, she is reactive.
Yeah.
So it was really weird to just see her be so still. And at that point, I went to bed because I had, this was Sunday night. This was Sunday night into Monday morning. So Monday morning I had work, but he had Monday. You had Monday off?
I called out because we were up until 5 a.m. I was up until 2 with Dixie, and then we decided to take her back and didn't get home and asleep till about 5:30 in the morning.
Right. So he was gonna have work, but he made the plan to stay awake overnight just to make sure that she was okay. And then at around 1:30, he comes into the bedroom and he is like, "Baby, we have to take her back to the hospital because something's, it's definitely not right.
She's gravely wrong."
Yeah. Oh, this is Jupiter. He's so big now. Hi, buddy. Do you need hello?
I don't know if he'll stay, but
this is Joopy. Oh.
He's
now he's gonna come on. He's gonna get on my desk and he's gonna ruin everything.
Hey, buddy.
Whoo.
Good boy.
Yeah. So, wait, when was it?
Sunday night. Monday.
So yes. So we took her back to the vet, and the biggest problem was her breathing, as far as we could tell. And literally, as soon as we got there, we didn't finish talking to the people at the front desk and explaining what was going on before the vet tech came over, and he was like, "Oh," and like whisked her away from us because he could tell that she was having such a hard time breathing. And it wasn't asthma. She has a history of asthma. We have medication for her asthma. It was beyond that. He had to hook her up to oxygen. And that was basically the first update that we got the next day, was that she needed to go on oxygen because she had pneumonia. and apparently the feeding tube had given her pneumonia. I don't know why she was like given back to us in that condition where it was pretty obvious she was not happy and she was struggling to breathe.
Pneumonia and a collapsed lung.
Yeah, that too.
And something going on with her heart.
Yeah.
But we didn't know what it was at the time.
Yeah. So was all of that was the first update?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Because you were at work.
Yeah. Yeah, it was intense. So that was like what we were dealing with over the next few days was she couldn't breathe. So we wanted to get her off of oxygen. We needed to see what was going on in her heart that was showing up on x-rays or MRIs or whatever is the heart scan. And we needed to get her to eat. And again, she wasn't eating, but they were feeding her through a syringe instead because I guess that was an option the whole time, but they just didn't think of it before. They did the nasal tube instead, which to me, you know, any veterinary folks who ever find this video someday, if you have a flat-faced breed of cat in your office, maybe go syringe first before nasal tube, just because of apparently nasal tubes give pneumonia. So, you know, just learn from our experience. So then, geez, I feel like I can't remember, but we just lived through this.
There was a period of like 3 days or so of not much new, but liver values are good. Oxygen's helping, but she doesn't do well without it. We learned that the heart condition is called ARVC, which affects the boxer breed of dogs more than any other animal, and it's very rare in cats. ARVC is a rhythmogenic right ventricular cardiomyopathy. And there's not much to say about it besides that it can lead to serious effects, though we don't know, and I don't think the vet knows either, whether this particular condition created any of these problems. But I think that the vet conveyed that at least it contributed to her reaction to a couple of the meds, like the steroid, probably contributed to her general reaction of getting oxygen properly during the feeding tube during and after is what I'm thinking. Well, she couldn't process oxygen as well.
It was like she had pneumonia, so they wanted to put her on a steroid for the pneumonia, which is pretty normal. But then once they found out, oh, she has a heart disease, then they took her off the steroid because that was too much for her heart, because of the heart condition. And then I don't know about exactly what you're saying, but it sounds right.
That was, I think the vet said, if not for the feeding tube, we wouldn't have found out about the heart condition.
Yeah.
And I think it might be relevant in the oxygen component.
Yeah.
But after those 3 or so days, around, Wednesday, she was acting brighter and was happier. And
Tuesday.
She could actually see things in
Yeah.
front of her eyes and was interacting with the people who were handling her.
Yeah. She started acting brighter and happier and just more awake and alive and like back to herself on Tuesday. And then on Wednesday is when the new doctor came in and wanted to put the feeding tube back in, and apparently didn't read the notes about the fact that the feeding tube caused the pneumonia problem the first time. So I literally had to call. Thank God I have a very flexible job, because I had to call as soon as Elle told me that that's what the update said. Call and tell them to stop putting the feeding tube in, and she was like, oh my God, we're right in the middle of doing that. So she had to go run off the phone with me and go call off the procedure. And then we had to come to this decision of they're putting the feeding tube in because they want her to eat. And I get that, because she lost 1.5 pounds while she was in the hospital, and she was only 8.5 pounds to begin with. She's a small lady. But if her liver, like the way that I was seeing it is like the feeding tube did so much bad the first time. And if the whole point of having her eat was to have her liver values be stable, so she didn't go into liver failure, if her liver values were stable, then maybe we don't need her to eat. She's gone this long. She's been fine. If she can go one more day without eating, once she comes home, she'll eat. The biggest problem, in my opinion, was getting her able to breathe on her own so that she could come home. And like, it's very normal for a vet to want to feed a hungry cat. I don't hold that against her. But it was just like a very treacherous moment there, having to kind of like parse through that. And it's the first time that I felt like competent enough as a cat owner to like have a conversation with a vet and have them change course, but in a way that makes sense. And she thanked me for telling her to stop the procedure because she hadn't understood like how everything was related with the previous treatment up until then, and like it was a lot going on. It was very stressful. You okay, baby?
Yeah. I'm tired. I'm stressing about the medicines for tonight.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so we have a lot of medicines that we give Dixie every night. Do you want to start putting the pills in the liquid to dissolve?
Yeah. Where are we with the quarter every other day one?
We did that this morning.
Gotcha.
Thank you, honey.
Yeah, babe.
So, yeah, Elle's going to go prep her meds for tonight. We do meds twice a day.
We gave her everything that was once daily already?
Yep.
Gotcha.
Also, this is not a good representation of this palette. This is my first time using the darker colors, and I used them wrong. I'll just put that out there. So yeah, we went to go visit her on Wednesday night, which was really good, I think. And I think it helped her kind of push through the last like bit of her time there, because then she came home the following day on Thursday after work, and they said that on Thursday during the day she was like happier and brighter, and they had us come in to see again if we could get her to eat just by being there. And no was the answer. She doesn't like to eat at the hospital, even for us, and that's okay. It's a very unfamiliar, very like kind of, you know, weird people, weird smells, and very cold. She's a cat who needs to be kept warm.
Where's Clavamox, baby? That was the biggest
The
biggest package of pills.
on the table?
There's only one thing of pills that's wrapped similarly. It's not the Clavamox, it's the Serenia.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's
like
the blue, yeah. It's not over there?
Not that I can see.
Oh, it should be.
I'll keep looking, baby.
Okay, maybe on the counter or on the floor. Okay. So, I don't remember what I was saying. I'm tired. So yeah, we went to go see her. We went to go visit her to try to get her to eat. And she was very responsive upon seeing us, and like seeing her, she was definitely like back to herself. And it was really good for us to see her in the hospital like that. Because, you know, other people don't know your cat the way that you know your cat. So they can say, oh, she's doing better. but it's not the same as you being able to go and see, oh yeah, she really is. She was back to herself, except like more, more tired and more weak because she hadn't been eating. And her poor little voice sounded so croaky because she also hadn't really been drinking a lot of water. What, baby?
Talking to the little one.
Oh, okay. And so we went on Wednesday night to visit her, and then on Thursday night, Elle went to go pick her up, and then Friday I took the day off from work to stay home with her. On Thursday night, she actually did start to eat a little bit, a couple morsels, I think twice. We caught her eating twice on Thursday night, which was like emotional to see after a whole week and so much drama specifically about her eating. So that was really wonderful. On Friday, she must have eaten, but on Friday I was going back and forth because she needed to rest and Jupiter was just ready to play. So I needed to keep him separate from her, but then he has separation anxiety because of his experience as a foster cat. And so he hates being left alone. So I was going back and forth between hanging out with Dixie, hanging out with him in separate rooms. So my thought is that at some point while I was hanging out with him, Dixie probably ate. I didn't lay eyes on her eating on Friday. But then on Saturday, I definitely caught, I think Saturday evening, I physically saw her eat. And then Sunday, she was eating normally all day, just as if she had never gone to the hospital, and very much back to her normal eating patterns at least. So that's really good because she'll, the weight will come back. And now the biggest hurdle is just, the meds. We're supposed to give her a lot of the certain meds that we're giving her are related to the pneumonia and the antibiotics and kind of the current bout of issues that she's dealing with. And then 2 of the meds are ongoing for the heart condition that, now at least we know about it. It's kind of a bittersweet thing, but, at least we're aware of that now and we can start to treat, preventative treatment for that. And those meds both come in bless you. Those meds both come in a liquid form, and Dixie really doesn't like wet food. Our hope is to try to find a wet food that she does like so that we can just kind of inject her food with it and then not have to go through the process of actually putting the syringe in her mouth. Because I gotta tell you, girl does not like taking meds. And I get it, because I also wouldn't like being held down and having a syringe thrust down my throat. So I get it, but there's unfortunately not a lot of ways to feed her the medication otherwise. If you know of a wet food that works great for cats who don't like wet food, let me know, because we really need to find some way to give her this medicine that she's not going to hate for the rest of her life. Because it's a heart condition, it's not small potatoes. It's a big deal. Okay, there was water in here at one point. We have to take it seriously, so anyway. So that's kind of, I want to make sure that I said everything. The gallbladder, the masses turned out to be stones that were passed. Pancreatitis was not a thing. The pancreas was just like inflamed kind of tangentially, I guess, to the gallbladder and the liver being off, and the pancreatitis went away. There wasn't really any pancreatitis. The liver looked like it might have been liver failure, but it was not. once she started getting nutrients into her, first through the tube and then later on through eating and syringe eating and stuff. Then it balanced out. Liver is fine. Pneumonia was the next thing that arose during the time there. That we have antibiotics for. She really seems to be doing great, though. She's having a good time. Sorry, I thought I heard something. She's breathing very normally now. I don't think she's struggling to breathe at all. So she was on oxygen during a lot of her stay there, but now she's like doing fine. So I would venture to say that the pneumonia might be gone, but we're still medicating her to make sure it's really, really gone. The asthma we've known about for a long time. That's ongoing. That's just part of her life now. The heart condition was discovered. And as I said, we have to continue medicating her for that. She's no longer dehydrated. She's eating on her own. She's drinking water on her own. She's batting Jupiter around and showing him who's boss, which is great because the first week and a half that they were living together before she ended up going to the hospital, they had this really weird chemistry together, and I was a little bit nervous because this is how I thought that she would react to him from the beginning, was kind of like bossing him and showing him who's in charge and laying down the law from the start. But she was like, the first day she was kind of like curious about him, and then they had this real like nervous energy around each other. But now I think she's not taking any of his BS. Like, she's faced death and she's survived, and now she's not taking no guff from a young spry thing. I don't know. And so he gets too close and she whacks him one, which honestly I don't mind, because she is the boss. She was here first, and I want her to feel and know that she has the authority to do so. I don't think it's going to last forever that way, but until she feels secure in her authority and place in the home, I have no problem with her kind of showing him who's boss, because it is Dixie. She is the boss. And there's a lot of times where he is still figuring out boundaries, figuring out whose litter box is whose food is whose, when Dixie wants to play versus when she's literally laying underneath a blanket trying to sleep and he jumps up on her. So sometimes there's certain lessons that he's not going to learn from us, but that Dixie will teach him. So I'm okay with that, personally. Okay. So it's good to see her energy is kind of back when it comes to that as well. Because I did not want a situation where he came in and bullied her. That was the last thing that I wanted. I was kind of scared at first that it would be the other way around. But she's doing fine. She's not being too mean. She's just establishing boundaries, and he's learning. He's doing really good. He's changing his behavior as a result of her mothering, and it's working out really well. So, again, this eye look is not a good representation of this palette. I am not happy with what I've done here, but I also completely blame myself, and I don't blame the palette, because I should have not have done this the way that I did it. Basically, I blended out the dark green too far. So then when I went in to add the light blue, it just like was all, it's a mess. But I'm going to try to save it. I have this Ray color here, which is a gorgeous multi-chrome, duochrome, something pressed glitter. So I'm going to slap that on this graphic liner thing that I've made here. Which palette am I using? Thank you. Hi, Sammy Rose. I am using the Wilderness palette by Beauty Bay, which is newer, and I absolutely love it. And it's such great quality for how affordable it is, to be honest with you. This is my first Beauty Bay palette I've ever used, and it's my go-to palette now, and it's absolutely gorgeous. I have such a love for blue and green eyeshadows, and that's most of what this palette is. So I'm a happy camper in that regard. Ooh, okay. So this is a pressed pressed glitter, and so is the gold shade in here. I think I wish that there are other shimmers in here, but I wish that this one was a shimmer, just because it's so like flaky, and like pressed glitters are hard to get to kind of conform to where you want them to go, I find, but I'm no expert. I'm nobody special. I'm just trying to make it work. But yeah, this is like the idea that I had, except I thought that it would come out way better. Instead, it's just like a little messy, but I've done a lot with this palette already, and I'm sure I'll do a ton more. It's just it's so versatile. And yet it's like kind of a rainbow palette, but like also not really, because everything is so earth toned. I'm like, this is all I need for my whole life, like this, I need nothing. This is everything, because I'm not really a pink and purple gal anyway, so I'm very happy with it. I'm going to try to connect. Ooh, I have a Milani eye primer down here, and I'm trying to connect it somehow. I guess it'll be a kind of sharp wing here. Yeah, it's not going to be as fine of a point as I wanted, but I'm figuring it out, guys. So yeah, Dixie had a very traumatic week, and so did we. We were very exhausted emotionally, and there was just like a lot going on. But now it seems she's pretty back to normal. She's still recovering. She's still tired, for sure, but she's every day more and more herself. So that's really, really good to see. And, ooh, okay. Maybe this is something. And she's such a fighter. She's very stubborn, but also in the way that, like, not only is she stubborn about like, oh, I don't want to take my meds, but also like she's not gonna let herself go in a hospital. You know what I mean? Like, she's a fighter when it comes to sickness. She doesn't want to stay in a hospital, so she's gonna get better. She's like that kind of gal.
A single mom works 2 jobs
Yeah.
and loves her kids and never stops.
Yeah, baby. Murderable fighter. I'm a survivor. She is a survivor. She's doing us proud, that's for sure. I'm hoping this is the last adventure with Dixie for a while, because I think this is the 3rd one in about a year. And we could do with some rest. And by we, I mean mostly her, because she's had a rough. Was it a year or 2 years? I don't know. When did we first? Well, no, we were living here the first time we went to the hospital.
September of last year.
Yeah, September of last year. We've gone 3 times in less than a year.
Problems,
3 big problems. And she's elderly, she's turning 12, so this is kind of part of what happens in a way, which is sad to say. I don't know. But, just like an older person, older cats start to have a little more problems. But as long as she stays herself, then, we're willing to keep fighting to keep her going, It was really sad those days that she was just like so absent, Like if that's how they sent her home to us, then that's when we would start making some quality of life decisions, but like we're not there. It's going to be something huge probably before we're there. And she's 12, so she could have a long time still. Who knows, man? Well, we were hoping originally that having Jupiter around would help elongate her life, because she would get more exercise and have companionship, and hopefully that would make her happy. I mean, not that we didn't. We wanted a kitten. I wanted a kitten. But it was a decision that was absolutely made with Dixie in mind as well, because we couldn't not think of her. And the hope and the goal was that he would bring her at least some entertainment, and companionship, and fun in her later years, Remains to be seen as they get to know each other. But I think like a month from now, they'll be in a much better place than they are right now. I think it'll take time. I feel like her coming home from the hospital kind of like restarted their relationship a little bit. Because I think she realized that he's going to be a permanent fixture around the house. So she kind of got out of denial and went into like, how I'm going to deal with this phase. Which is good. That's what I mean by like she's a fighter. Like she figures out how to deal with stuff. She doesn't let stuff beat her, She's given Jupiter what for?
What for?
Yeah. As she should. She's the lady of the house. So I think we've got a lot of good coming up soon with them. Oh, guys. Okay. Now, doing this iLook, I've learned a lot, including what I should do differently next time I try to do something like this. This kind of happened with the first picture that I showed, that I posted on Instagram with a look made from this palette, where a couple lives ago, I was trying to do a red eyeshadow look, and I just didn't have red eyeshadows. And then this came in the mail, and I basically redid the look using these reds, and I put that on Instagram. And I feel like that's what I can kind of do. I think that's kind of what lives are going to be, is like me testing stuff and trying stuff out. And then I'll redo it better once I've learned all the learning curves I need to learn, and put it on Instagram perfected. Because I like doing artsy creative stuff, you know? But it doesn't always work the first time. If it did, then it wouldn't be that artsy, I guess. I don't know if that's a thing. I think I just made that up. That's not real. Oh, and these wings are going at totally different angles too. Cool. All right, this looked a lot better in my head, but like, oh well. It's not bad. I mean, it's not awful. It could be worse. Likes baby. He said I'm cute, so that's what matters. All right, this is as fine as it's gonna get for now. Let me put this. Ooh, please don't fall. I have too much stuff stacked up here. This blue shimmer ocean, which also has a little bit of like, there's like blue, green, purple kind of all going on in there. I'm going to put this. Okay, I'm going to use a different brush apparently, because that one's going to work. In my inner corner. This is a glitter. I thought it was a shimmer. Too many glitters, Beauty Bay. They just don't work the same way that shimmers do. It's just like they're much more loose, and you have to pack them in ways that sometimes they just don't want to be packed. However, I do really love the combination of these two, Ocean and Bay, or Ray. I did it on my eye look this morning for work, which I did post on Instagram. Follow me. And it's gorgeous. The two of these together, transitioning, so good. Oh my God. They blend really well into each other. Color-wise, not necessarily formula-wise. I don't know how to say that, but it looks nice. That's what I'm saying. All right. I need to clean this up. I have my little itty-bitty concealer brush. And I'm just gonna like clean. There's a little, actually, hold on. This is a dry clean brush. I'm just gonna there's a little bit of fallout. The Ray glitter likes to fall out a little bit for sure. I'm gonna clean up the shape of this a little bit. Clean dry brush. I'm gonna blend out this corner a little bit. Actually, I'm not posting this on Instagram, so I don't need it to be perfect.
Damn.
Legs, baby.
Damn.
I'm also coming close to the end of my time here, just because we have to go give Dixie her meds, so I can't stay on for like super a long time. I think I will redo this look and post a picture on Instagram, because I think with a couple adjustments, it could look really nice. So I guess keep a lookout for that. I found, where is it? I will use this black gel eyeliner or cream eyeliner or something. Where is it? Ulta near me has started selling this brand called Black Opal. Where the heck? Oh, is it in here? Yeah. At least I think that it's Black Opal. Let me know if I'm wrong. And it's a little eye definer with just simple eyeliner crayon. I like when I can find like black owned brands that are featured in stores. Try to get something, and I didn't have a black eyeliner, so, or at least not like a eye pencil like this, so I got it and I like it. Kind of an easy thing to get right, but this is a really great formula, so I can get any. They have several other colors as well. If they have any warm tones, because I had already purchased like blue, purple, and green, which are the other colors that they have. But if they have any other, if they come out with like more warm toned colors that I don't have already, I would very easily pick them up. They're like $6 or something. And it's a really nice little eyeliner formula. I'm gonna slap on a mascara real quick. Oh my God. This eyeshadow's too much. Too much. It didn't work. And that's okay. I think next time I need to already have my eye makeup done before I tell a story that takes too much of my attention. Or at least not try to do something so bold. But you know what? That's what we do here. We're all about the learning, the growth.
Growth.
Thanks, baby.
I'm concerned about that growth.
Oh, no.
Sorry. Oh.
Ooh, I'm hungry. I also didn't have dinner. Gotta go do that. All right, and then what do I want to do for a lip? I don't have any blush on, no contour, nothing. Oh, can you not follow her? Thanks. I like, this guy is a try. No, not this one. Wait. Okay. All right. I have the NARS. I got their birthday set in June, which is their Laguna bronzer in this itty bitty, teeny tiny little stupid little tiny pan. And it came with a matching lipstick. I don't think this is gonna go, but it's the best option I have out of what's like right available to me. So it's a little nude something. Does it show at all? The answer seems to be no. Okay. I put a lip oil on. Not a lip oil. I'm so bad at lying. I put Aquaphor on my lips. So maybe they're just too slippery, but it was like an hour ago. Okay. Yeah. Absolutely no color just got deposited onto my lips. Am I crazy? Nothing happened. Am I losing my mind? What? All right. Here's my lipstick. Okay. Well, oh, oopsie. Maybe I can at least slap a blush on. I have the e.l.f. blush quad, and I'm going to use this kind of darker one up here. It's a good summertime blush shade for me when I get a little tanner. Just a simple, well, natural something, earthy shade, but still subtle. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there you go. Just a little color, a little something. Not crazy, you know? Just warm up the face a little bit. Yeah, I really like this foundation from Bare Minerals. Yeah. Ooh, the difference a pop of blush makes, I tell ya. Okay. All right. I think that's going to be it for tonight. This is not what I intended, but this is how the eye look turned out. I imagined more of a defined smoky eye, going from the dark green to the light blue. However, I think I just did it in the wrong order, and that's that. So I'll try it again because I like the idea that I had. I don't know why I thought that you change up the order when you do a smoky eye, like a classic smoky eye. But I did think that, so then that's what I did, and that was the wrong choice. And I did it on camera, so lucky you. Get to see that magic happen. Learn from my mistakes. Yeah, happy Tuesday. I hope you're having a good week. Let me know how things are going for you. Let me know how things are going for your pets. Oh, thank you, Sammy Rose. Let me know how things are going for you and your pets. And I don't know, whoever else is important in your life, no big deal. Everybody matters. I gotta get off because I gotta eat dinner and I gotta give Dixie her meds. So this is what we've got for now. Yeah, happy Tuesday. Tomorrow's hump day, so we're almost through the week, basically. All right, it's basically the weekend. So have a good weekend. All right, I gotta go. I'll see you Friday. Fashion Friday. I have a video coming. It's gonna be fun. Makeover video. I'm really excited. See you then. So much love. Bye.
So much love.